After completing the crocheting of the main part, next, we need to secure decorative strands at the junction of the legs, arms, and neck where two colors meet. Now, please watch my demonstration. First, secure the decorative strand on the leg. Pay attention, it should be fixed at the boundary underneath. There are 3 circles of decorative strands here, top, middle, and bottom. The middle one is the same color yarn from the top. Both the top and bottom ones are the same color yarn from below. First, secure the middle circle. Cut a piece of yarn about 25 centimeters long. Here, for easier viewing, use a random yarn, and take 4 strands from it. I've already taken the strands. Then apply a round of glue at this junction. Using the separated strands, tie approximately evenly around one circle. Don't tie too tight. Just loosely cover the color change marks. Both yarn tails are at the back. When done, weave in the 2 yarn tails separately. Like this, the decorative strand in the middle is now secured. Next, use the same method on the top and bottom. Secure the decorative strands separately. I won't demonstrate it. Note: the positions where the ends of the top and bottom decorative strands go in should be roughly staggered. This will look more neat and tidy. Next, everyone follow the same method to secure the decorative strand on the other leg. I won't demonstrate it either. Once the decorative strand on the thigh is secured, continue securing the decorative strands on the arms and neck. The decorative strands at these 3 areas are all made using the same fancy dyed lace. You can choose the same color sections as the sample, or choose based on your preference. First, cut a 25 centimeter yarn tail. Take 6 strands. I'll use one arm as an example. Again, apply glue at the junction first. Then wrap the yarn around roughly evenly for 2 rounds. The 2 yarn tails should be positioned on the inside or slightly towards the back. Once done, simply hide the yarn tails. I'll leave them exposed this time. Next, follow this method to secure the decorative strands at the junctions of the other arm and the neck. I won't demonstrate it this time. This way, the decorative strands are all done. Next, we'll move on to making the facial features. First, watch my demonstration. Then start practicing on your own. Start with embroidering the nose. The nose is roughly positioned at the horizontal line of the 8th round on the head, occupying 1 stitch. It should be roughly centered left and right. Use the same color thread as the head for embroidering. Here, I'll only explain the method. The position isn't for reference. Refer to the sample for the exact position. You can also decide based on the actual situation, and the thread color can be random. This won't be repeated in the following steps. First, weave the yarn tail into the head a few times. Then draw the thread out from one side of the horizontal line, at the corresponding position of the nose. Insert it into the other side. Sew back and forth 2 to 3 times. Like this. The nose is done. Next, embroider the mouth. Use fancy dyed lace yarn. Cut a piece of red thread. Take 2 strands and thread them through a yarn needle. The mouth is roughly located 1 round of horizontal lines below the nose. The width should cover about 2 stitches. Like this. The mouth is done. Next, embroider the eyebrows. Use the same color thread as the boots. Take 2 strands to embroider. The eyebrows are located on the upper left and right sides of the nose. 4 rounds of horizontal lines apart from the nose. The width of the eyebrows is about 3 stitches, with an interval of 4 or 5 stitches in between. Please refer to the embroidery method used for the mouth. After finishing one eyebrow, you can apply a small amount of glue onto the thread. To shape the eyebrow, just a slight upward curve is enough. Once the glue is dry, embroider the other eyebrow on the opposite side, at roughly the same symmetrical position. I won't demonstrate this part. Like this. That's all for the eyebrows. Next, we need to create the eye sockets below the eyebrows. The eye sockets are about 2 rounds of horizontal lines apart from the eyebrows. First, Use the same color yarn as the head. Thread it through the yarn needle. Then, insert the yarn needle from the back of the head. Thread it to the position of one of the eyes. If you can't go through in one try, you can make a bridge. Leave a small tail at the beginning. Then insert from the side. Thread it to the back side. Gently tighten. Tie a knot to secure the yarn tail. Just create a slight dent here. The yarn tails can be hidden separately. I'll leave mine visible here. Once done, use the same technique to tighten this side too. I won't demonstrate it again. After tightening the eye socket, at the eye socket position, secure one eye each. You can apply a bit of glue to the corresponding position first. Then attach the eyes. This will make them more secure. Pay attention to keeping them roughly symmetrical. I won't attach mine here. Like this. That's all for the facial features. Next, secure the hair. Everyone, first watch my demonstration, then secure it. Before securing, first, use a pen from home to mark the points where the hair will be secured. I've already marked mine. The placement of markers here is not for reference. The main focus is on explaining the method. The frontmost point is about 4 horizontal bars apart from the eyebrows. The bottom point is roughly on the 8th horizontal bar. All points are roughly centered left and right, and spaced evenly in between. There are 8 points in total. After marking them, take out the wool felt, unfold it along the folding texture. And roughly divide it into 8 equal parts. Once done, take one part and divide that one part into 2. Then stagger them slightly and combine. Which makes the whole piece slightly longer. Then using the same method, process the remaining parts like this. The length of each part can vary slightly, depending on your preference. I won't demonstrate it. Once the hair is settled, First, secure the front part, which is fixed at this point's position. Use the same color yarn as the boot. Take 3/4 strands and thread them through the sewing needle. The yarn tail should be about 50 centimeters long. Then secure the yarn tail. Hide the short yarn tail. Once completed, come out with the sewing needle like this. Take one piece and fold it in half. Place the folded part at the yarn tail. Insert the sewing needle from the position where it came out earlier. Thread it to the next point. Pull tight. Like this, one piece is secured. Continue by taking another piece and securing it. First, fold it in half. Then insert the sewing needle from the position where it came out earlier. Come out at the next point. Pull tight. Repeat this process. Secure all the hair in place. I won't continue securing anymore. Once all the hair is secured, tie a knot and weave in the ends. In reality, not all the hair is secured here. Like this. That's all for securing the hair. Next, secure the colored hair ties. Use the corresponding yarn. Cut a piece. This length is a little more than twice the length of one side of the hair. Secure the yarn end next to the hair root a bit. Then fold it in half. Next, divide one section of hair into two parts. Combine each part with a yarn end. Give it a rough twist. Twist them together. Don't twist too tightly. Then temporarily secure it with a hair elastic. Once done, follow the same method. Twist the remaining sections of hair. While adding in the colorful hair ties, I won't demonstrate it. Once one side is all twisted, combine them together. Secure them well with a hair elastic. Note: the securing spot is roughly under the head. This securing spot is not for reference. Once done, undo the temporarily secured hair elastics. Then twist them together in pairs. And secure the ends with hair elastics. Meaning the original 8 sections become 4. Finally, secure each of these 4 sections with another elastic 1-2 cm away from the previous one. Secure it in place. Once one side is secured well, use the same method to secure the other side as well. Finally, you can use glue on the head to secure the hair in place. Try to spread the hair out. Don't expose the fabric. I won't demonstrate this part. Up to this point, the facial features and hair are finished. Next, we'll learn how to crochet overalls. The overalls include the leg, the body and decorations. First, crochet the leg and the body of overalls, then make the straps and decorations. Pay attention. The bottom of the leg part and the top of the body part are both crocheted with fancy dyed lace. You can refer to the sample to choose the corresponding color section, or choose your favorite color section to crochet below. Please watch my demonstration. First, crochet the left leg of overalls. Here, left and right refer to actual wearing direction. The sample is made for easier viewing. The yarn color is random. Start casting on. The leg starts with 1/8 ch. Join with a slip stitch in the first stitch, meaning start with 18 chain stitches. Then crochet a slip stitch into the first stitch to form a loop with the chain stitches. Start with a chain stitch. Make a slip knot with the yarn. Slightly tighten the loop. Leave a 5-10 cm yarn tail at the beginning. Then, hold the yarn with your left hand. Insert the crochet hook into the loop. Yarn over. Pull the yarn through. One chain stitch is completed. Yarn over again. Pull the yarn through. This is the second stitch. Continue crocheting. Third stitch, fourth stitch. Don't crochet the chain too tight, otherwise it will be difficult to work into later. One braid like this counts as one stitch. The loop on the hook does not count as one stitch. Continue crocheting the corresponding chains. After finishing, slip stitch into the first chain. Pay attention. Don't twist the chain here. You can first make all the chain stitches facing up. Match the beginning and ending. Insert the hook into both strands of the first stitch above. Crochet a slip stitch, which means draw through all loops on the hook in once. The slip stitch doesn't count as one stitch. Tighten. Pull the yarn tail. Like this, the cast on for the overalls leg is completed. Next, crochet the first round. First, make one chain stitch as the turning chain for the single crochet. The turning chains for single crochet don't count as stitches. Next, in the same stitch where you just slip stitched, crochet one single crochet. When completed, on the adjacent chain to the left, pick up the top 2 strands. Crochet one single crochet. As you crochet, you can pull it a bit first. Don't miss any stitches. For this round, keep picking up the top 2 strands of the chain stitches. Crochet one single crochet. Repeat this process. Continue crocheting. When you reach the end, pay attention. This tighter braid is formed by the slip stitch. The last chain should be the chain adjacent to the right side of the slip stitch. Pick up both strands of this chain. Crochet the last single crochet. When done, check the stitch count. Pay attention. This smaller braid is the beginning chain. It doesn't count as one stitch. The left side is the stitch of the first single crochet. Finally, on the stitch of the first single crochet, make one slip stitch to join. The slip stitch doesn't count as a stitch. Pull tight. Like this. The first round of the left leg is finished. Now move on to the second round. Make one beginning chain first. From now on, at the beginning of each round for overalls, make one beginning chain, and they don't count as stitches. Next, in the same insertion position, where you just made the slip stitch, make the first single crochet. Once completed, continue picking up stitches. Match each one correspondingly with single crochets. After finishing the last stitch, since you'll be changing colors for the next round, therefore, insert the hook into the first stitch loop. Take the yarn of the corresponding color for the next round. Pull the yarn through all loops at once. That is, switch yarn when making the slip stitch. Leave a small tail at the beginning. Tighten the original yarn. Also leave a small tail before cutting it off. This way, the second round is completed, and the yarn has been joined. Continue crocheting the third round. First, make one chain stitch. Start from the same insertion position, where the slip stitch was made. Pick up the stitch. Work one single crochet into each stitch evenly. After finishing, join with a slip stitch. Continue crocheting the fourth round. This round is also worked even with single crochets. Complete this round. Once done, leave a yarn tail of about 15 centimeters. Cut the yarn. Like this, one left leg is completed. Pay attention. The front side texture is facing out. Next, everyone follow the same method. To crochet another right leg. After finishing, don't cut the yarn. I won't demonstrate it. After completing the overall's legs, continue crocheting the overall's body. First, connect the two legs. Refer to the chart. That means crochet one chain stitch here on the right leg. If you can't find the chain stitch position, mark it on the chain stitch. I won't mark it here. Next, on the left leg, slip stitch into the first single crochet. Pull tight. Like this, the two legs are now connected. Next, crochet the first round of the overall's body. Start with one beginning chain. Then, starting from the same insertion point, where you slip stitched, pick up the stitch, work single crochets into each stitch correspondingly. Crochet all the way down the left leg stitches. After finishing crocheting, pick up one strand on the connecting chain. Make a single crochet. Then, starting from the first single crochet on the right leg, work single crochets into each stitch correspondingly. Crochet all the way down the right leg stitches. Pay attention, here also start from the same insertion position, where you slip stitched. Begin crocheting. Make sure the yarn tail is placed on the outside. After finishing crocheting, continue on the connecting chain. Make the last single crochet. That is, at the same insertion position of this single crochet. Finally, join with a slip stitch into the first stitch. Pay attention, this smaller braid is the beginning chain. Like this, the first round of the overall's body is done. Continue crocheting rounds 2 to 7. These rounds are all worked even with single crochets. Each round starts with a chain stitch and ends with a slip stitch to join. The method is quite simple, so I won't demonstrate it. After finishing, continue with round 8. I'll use the swatch to demonstrate round 8 directly. Refer to the chart. First, work the corresponding number of single crochets. Then make a SC2 tog. Note, this SC2 tog is a regular decrease, which means pick up 2 stitches one after another on the left side, and work an incomplete single crochet in each of them. Then yarn over, and pull the yarn through all loops at once. This is the regular SC2 tog. Continue with the corresponding number of single crochets. After completing, make another regular SC2 tog. Note: all the SC2 tog stitches on the overalls are regular decreases, so I won't mention it again later. After completing, continue working single crochets evenly. Complete this round. After completing, stretch the loop. Thread the fabric through the loop. Pull tight. Here I just secured the yarn in place. Like this. Round 8 is done. Now move on to row 9. Refer to the chart. K11 means to skip 11 stitches. If there's no number after K, it means skip 1 stitch by default. Insert the hook into the 12th stitch. Bring the yarn over, pull through. Adjust the tension of the carried yarn. Keep it roughly level with the fabric. Then chain 1. Then work 1 SC2 tog. Meaning work in the same stitch, and the adjacent stitch on the left side. Then crochet the corresponding number of single crochets. Once completed, work another SC2 tog. Like this. That's all for row 9. Now move on to row 10. CH turn means to chain 1 first. Then turn the work. Pay attention when looking at the wrong side of a row. The stitches correspond to the chain loops on the upper left. Starting from the edge stitch, work single crochets correspondingly. Finish this row. Like this. That's all for row 10. Now move on to row 11. First work 1 chain. Turn the work. On the first 2 stitches, work 1 SC2 tog. Then work single crochets evenly. When 2 stitches remain, work the last SC2 tog. Once completed, continue crocheting rows 12 to 15. Refer to the demonstration of row 10 for all even-numbered rows. Refer to the demonstration of row 11 for all odd-numbered rows. I won't demonstrate it. Now, the swatch has been completed up to row 15. Next, start from this side. Crochet the edging along the edge. Keep crocheting all the way to the edge of this side. First, work 1 chain. Next, pick up some threads along the edge of the last row. Work 1 single crochet. Then along the edge of the adjacent row on the left side. Pick up some threads and work 1 single crochet. This side is worked by crocheting 1 single crochet per row. If you can't find the exact position, just approximate. Make sure the edge is roughly flat after finishing. After finishing this side, pick up the stitches like this. Work 1 single crochet into each stitch. Keep crocheting all the way to this side. Pay attention. When crocheting over areas with carried yarn, keep the carried yarn on top of the hook. Crochet and hide it in as you go. After completing, move to the side. Roughly work 1 single crochet per row again. After finishing it, chain 1 to secure. Enlarge the loop. Leave a small tail. Cut the yarn. Pull tight. Like this. That's all for crocheting the edging. Now move on to row 16. This row requires a color change. Crochet on the right side. First, front facing you. Insert the hook into the last single crochet stitch of the edging. Take the corresponding yarn. Pull the yarn through. Leave a small tail at the beginning. Chain 1. Then at the insertion point, where you join the yarn, and into the first stitch of this row, work a Pt2 tog. Then work single crochets evenly. Ending in the last stitch of this row, and into the first stitch of the edging. Work a Pt2 tog. Once completed, secure the yarn. Like this, row 16 is done. Continue to row 17. This row continues on the right side. Insert the hook into the first stitch on the right side. Draw the yarn through. Adjust the tension of the carried yarn. Keep it level with the fabric. Next, work 1 chain. Start from the same insertion point, where you joined the yarn. Work single crochets evenly into each stitch. As you crochet, carry the yarn over the hook. Crochet while hiding the yarn tail. Once completed, fasten off the yarn normally. Weave in the yarn tail along the texture on the wrong side. I won't do it here. Finally, use the yarn tail from the overall's leg area, sew the joining spot slightly, to ensure there are no visible holes. I won't demonstrate it either. Once completed, you can try it on, like this. That's all for crocheting the overalls. Next, sew seed beads of different sizes, 2 beads and gold chain onto the front. Then secure the straps and buttons in place. Now, watch my demonstration first, then start working on your own. Start on the right side of the overall's body. Sew small seed beads. Note that this refers to the actual left and right when worn. Arrange the small seed beads into an almost square shape. 4 small seed beads per side, each side about 1 centimeter long. Now, I'll use a small sample to simply demonstrate the sewing method. Exact position and shape, you can refer to the sample, or sew according to your preference. First, cut a piece of thread, in the same color as the boots. Take 1-2 strands from it. Thread the sewing needle. Bring the sewing needle through from the right side. Leave a small tail on the wrong side. Thread a small seed bead. Then go through to the wrong side, a little beside it. Secure the yarn tail with a knot. Vertically, sew about 1 bead per round. Continue securing. Once 4 beads are secured, align with the last one. Continue securing 3 more horizontally. Keep the gaps roughly the same as before. Next, refer to the earlier demonstration. Continue securing the rest properly. I won't demonstrate that part. Once everything is secured, tie a knot to secure the starting yarn tail. You can hide the yarn tails separately. I'll leave them as they are this time. Like this. That's all for the small seed beads. Next, attach a row of 2 beads diagonally next to it. Refer to the sample for the exact position. Feel free to get creative. Here, I'll briefly demonstrate the sewing method. Continue using the same yarn as with the small seed beads for sewing. Bring the sewing needle out on the right side. Thread a 2 bead. Secure the yarn tail. Continue sewing. The color of the 2 beads is random. Next, everyone follow this method to secure all the 2 beads. I won't demonstrate further. Once they're all secured, make a few knots on the wrong side to secure. And hide the yarn tails. I won't hide mine either. Like this, the 2 beads are done. Continue using the same yarn to secure the large seed beads. First, secure the yarn tail. Then bring the yarn to the right side. Thread the large seed beads in order with random colors. Quantity refers to the pattern chart. Here the sample swatch has fewer seed beads. Mainly explaining the method. Once threaded, at roughly corresponding positions at the back, secure the yarn tail. Then bring the yarn tail to the wrong side and hide it slightly. Like this. That's all for the large seed beads. Next, wrap the gold chain around the top of these decorations. Keep it slightly loose. And secure it with a yarn needle on one side. If the remaining part is too long, you can use a big pair of scissors at home. Cut it slightly shorter, according to your preference. I'll leave it as is this time. Like this. That's all for the gold chain. Next, let's make the strap. First, cut one piece of yarn in corresponding color, around 70 centimeters. It's okay if it's slightly longer. Twist the yarn slightly tighter. Then fold the yarn in half. Let it naturally twist together. Next, tie a temporary knot to secure this end. Then use a crochet hook. Pass the cord through one of the corners. You can pick up a few threads. Then continue twisting it tighter. Once done, secure it with a temporary knot. This way, one strap is done. Next, everyone follow the same method, to attach another one at the other corner. I won't demonstrate it again. Next, put the overalls onto the main part. Be careful when threading. not to drop the decorations. Here, I've already threaded it. Next, cross the straps at the back. And secure them to the back of the overall's body. Note, the securing point should be roughly level with the shoulders. Pull 1/2 through the stitch. Adjust the length properly, and tie a knot with the other half to secure it. Trim off the excess. You can use a small amount of glue to secure the yarn tail. Here, I'll skip that step. Like this, one strap is secured. Next, follow the same method to secure the other strap as well. I won't demonstrate that. Finally, underneath the front straps, secure a button each with glue. I won't demonstrate that. Once the overalls are done, continue making the belt for the boots. First, take the same color yarn as the boots. Pick 1-2 strands and thread them through the yarn needle, and tie a knot at the yarn tail for later use. Then cut a piece of belt about 10 centimeters long. Thread the belt through the belt buckle. Note: the side without gaps should be on the outside. Fold about 1 centimeter, sew a few stitches to secure it. Once sewn up, tie a knot to secure. When done, attach the other end into the belt buckle. It might be a bit tight here. Slide it over the top of the boot. once you've adjusted the tension properly. If the tail is too long, you can cut it a little shorter, like this. That's all for this belt. Next, follow the same method to complete the other belt. I won't demonstrate it this time. Pay attention when putting it on. This end should face outward. Next, we'll make the heel. First, cut a shaping wire about 3-4 centimeters long. Then, roughly poke it into the heel area. It might be a bit hard to poke through for you, so you'll need to apply some force, or first use a pointed tool to make the hole bigger. Then poke the shaping wire through. After inserting it, leave a small part underneath to ensure the bottom is level with the toe bottom. Then, use the same color yarn as the boot to wrap around the shaping wire on the outside. Secure it in place with glue. The bottom should be slightly thicker at the top. Finally, also use glue to secure the heel to the boot. This way, one heel is completed. Next, everyone follow the same method to finish the other heel. Once both are completed, you can use the same color yarn as the boot to embroider a mole on the face according to your preference. Finally, you can use eyeshadow or powder from home to apply blush on the face. Apply it according to your preference. I won't demonstrate this part. Up to this point, the crochet method for this toy is finished. If you have any questions during the process, don't hesitate to reach us via our website, Susan's Family, supporting your handwork experience, sharing the joy of life. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.